Hi guys, welcome to this review about the GoPro HERO7 Black. If there is one review you should watch, then it's this one. It's not because I'm a super YouTuber, but probably I'm the most neutral tester. I mean, I'm actually a professional software tester, and I'm really trying to be honest and not biased in any kind. I mean, I didn't get the GoPro for free, and I had to pay full price. But even when I pay full price, I'm not saying, yeah, it's a super cool camera, it's the best camera you can buy. There are a lot of people, when they buy something, especially when they buy something expensive, then they say, yeah, it's the best thing, it's super, it does not have any disadvantages. I mean, I know so many people, when they buy something, it's always good, and then maybe half a year later they have a new product, a different one, and I ask, why did you change, why did you switch to the other product? And they say, yeah, I was not happy with the first one. So okay, first they tell it's super cool, and then they switch. So I'm trying to be honest from the beginning, and this is why you should watch this video. And also there are a lot of people with the GoPro, they are like Apple buyers. When you talk to somebody who has an iPhone, yeah, he or she would never admit that it has problems or even huge problems. I mean, I know as a matter of fact that iPhones are not better or not worse than other phones. They have their advantages, disadvantages, but usually when you talk to such people, because they pay a high price and they want to will tell you it's a super cool device. So same as GoPro. I don't want to blame anybody, but it is I've done my experience, and so if you want to hear like unbiased review about that, so that's the one. So first we start off with a few positive things. I have to tell you, I just own this camera since about a week, and it's not a totally in-depth review. I mean, I don't know everything. I haven't seen everything, but I have done my first experience. I've been recording many videos, been shooting a lot of pictures, been using the app, I've been transferring to PC and so on. And yeah, this is what I've been seeing so far. So let's go to the camera itself, and I have to tell you that the camera actually is really sturdy. At least it looks like really sturdy. It's the heaviest, it's probably the heaviest action cam around. Yeah, I can almost guarantee that it is. It's really heavy, it looks sturdy. What I would like is a little bit more soft edge. So when it drops, it wouldn't be a hard drop, but this is really hard. This is almost like metal. I guess it's hard plastic. I don't expect it to break, but it would be nice to have soft edges which would limit damage when you drop it. But apart from that, it looks really heavy, sturdy. What is good, it has only, actually, how many buttons do we have? Can't remember. 2, yeah, we just have 2 buttons. It's actually just the one here to usually turn it on, turn it off. This was turned off. You already heard the strange sound. You can turn it off or turn it on. You can set the level, but it's just like beeping. When you turn it on, turn it off, same beep. No different sound. This is really simple. This is too simple for a GoPro, definitely. I would expect something more advanced, like at least you maybe remember the old Windows days when they had this jingle when booting up and then like shut down. So it really had a different sound, a really unique sound, so you really knew if it booted up or was shutting down. So here it's the same and really simple, and there's no animation. I mean every $20 camera from China has its animation when it's boots up, like a fancy thing. I mean, I would accept when you can turn it off to save battery, but at least it would be nice to have something. Every $20 smartphone has a small animation when you boot it up. So here you just have to push short. Usually maybe you can change, I don't know, but in my case, it's set up like this. And you have the screen, you have the basic information. You can push and then you have all the information gone. Push again and then you have all the information. It's not much, but it is enough. You can change all the settings, like video settings here. If you want to move to photos from videos, you can either, no, you can't do it here, it's just another video video mode. So you can actually do it here. I think there's another way too, but here is actually where you can switch the mode from time-lapse, video and photo. Okay, and then you have different modes and different settings. So that's really super cheap, and the touchscreen works. It's bright, but you cannot set the brightness. That's a major disappointment, that there's no, I mean, you can change it, but there's no automatic adjustment. I mean, with every basic mobile phone you can have automatic adjustment of brightness. Here you can't. What's also really bad, that's the battery. I mean, when you're doing recording, it has a decent battery life. You can record, I would say, about 1.5 hours of video in good quality. But when you just play a little bit around, watching pictures, or go back and do a little bit in the settings and so on, you can really feel that it's getting warm and almost hot, and the battery level, it really runs down. I mean, after this review, I guess the battery will be only 60% or so, which is super disappointing just by being in the menu settings. And so maybe we can change, no, okay, yeah, anyway, I'll continue with that. So the buttons are actually super easy. I mean, of course, this is the release button here, the switch between the modes, and here you have the release, so for the pictures and videos and whatever. So super easy actually. It yeah, what we have connectivity. I turn it off again. As you can see, there's no animation. This is just this strange beeping. Yeah, here we have the openings, like here one on the side for USB and HDMI cable, and as you can see, it's difficult with one hand to do, especially when you make the video. So you need almost two hands. So the good, when you want to make it easy, push down with one hand, and with the other hand you take the fingernail and go into the gap here and push it down. So it's a little bit annoying. Also, what's a little bit annoying, that yeah, when you just normal open it, it will not open even 90 degrees. It's just like this. And when you want to insert like the cable here, you will have a hard time to push it in or take it out. You can almost break. So actually this flap can go down more than this, but you have to pull it out. So like this, okay? This is strange. When you just open it and then it remains here, and there's a really hard resistance, and I fear that sometime I will break it. I don't know why they did that. So I have already tested this in the water. This seems to be like a soft rubber, not too soft, but soft enough to give a nice protection of the whole area against water. So I haven't been diving too far, too deep, but it looks like decent protection. So here we have the, I think that's HDMI, and that's USB-C. The USB-C I really appreciate, because that's a huge relief compared to everything. So when we close the flap, you have to make sure that you push it down all the way and then push it in. And there's nothing to see if it's secured or not. Just make sure that it's really flat, and then you can assume that it's closed. Since the GoPro 5, which is waterproof without the housing, which is a huge advantage, there have been a lot of complaints about water leaks, and I guess it's not because of manufacturing problems, it's probably because they didn't close the flap properly. Same thing here. It's difficult to open with one hand. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes not. Here it has a spring. It opens much better than the other one. So I don't know why they didn't do that same thing with the other flap. It's really good. What I like, the battery, it has this extra flap, and you can pull it out here easily. At least for now, at the beginning, it looks like it's really hard to pull it out. So I don't know what happens when the battery is bubbling up a little bit, when it overheats. I hope it doesn't do that, because it's so super tight. If the battery just inflates by a little, it will easily damage the motherboard and everything inside. So here we have also the micro SD card. Hope you can see that. It's on the side, and that was really easy to insert. No complaints about that. So this also same thing, just make sure it's almost flat, or as flat as possible, and then push it. Yeah, you see, it's not super easy. And then push it back. Then here with this flap, I think with this button you can see it's really hard to open and close. Here when you push it back, you can see that it goes down and then it comes up again when it sits tight. Yeah, hope you have been able to see that. So here we have a like somehow something like a security. Here we don't have this, but here that's actually the thing which we have to, the flap which we have to do open more frequent, because it's the USB connecting cable, which you need that to transfer the pictures. If you don't want to use the app, you have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi transfer. If you don't want to use that, you need the USB cable, and also to charge you have to open it. So I actually preferred to have better comfort and security here. So what I don't understand is why they didn't do something like Panasonic does with their underwater cameras, where you have this secure lock. So they have like a two-step mechanism. You close it, which is really easy, and then you have a second lock. I had a Panasonic underwater camera for about 5 years, and never ever had any issues with the Panasonic. So that that was way better than this thing. So let's continue with good things. There are not so many good things, but the good things are usually really good here. Of course, we have the waterproof housing without case, which makes really good sound quality, at least way better than everything else. Every action camera which does need housing to make it waterproof, this is way better. This is if you need sound, if you want to record sound with a waterproof camera, that's the way to go. Everything else is barely working. So I had many waterproof cameras. sound was always an issue. This thing is really working. I've been trying it, and it has a decent quality, so that's the good thing. And the very best thing is the good video quality. It definitely has an awesome video quality. I've been seeing sample videos, and they have been not looking so good, but probably that was because they encoded, decoded, manipulated, were cutting, and yeah, whatever. Of course, when you overdo with the videos, when you cut and merge and split and whatever, and yeah, you can ruin the quality, of course, but the normal quality is really good. When you transfer the pictures and videos to the app or to PC, at least the videos are really awesome. So I'm now trying to connect again the app to the camera. Sometimes takes a little bit of time. So looks like it was working now. So it's connected by Bluetooth, but I have already downloaded most of the images. Should work with this button here. And then it says no internet connection, and I think it switches actually to the internet of this camera. So it probably will connect and transfer the Wi-Fi settings by Bluetooth, but after that the real data is transferred by Wi-Fi, which is much faster. That's a good thing, but you won't have internet connection now while transferring the pictures and everything. So here there's first footage, and where you can see the driveway is really super choppy, and the picture is super stable, as you can see on the in the sky. So the clouds are totally not moving, not at all, not a bit. You can see that the there's the light, and there's like a reflector, and this is moving around actually. So which is it is not moving, but the camera makes it moving. So to keep everything stable, this is just amazing, absolutely amazing, because usually it will be exactly the opposite way with most of the other cameras. These things here would be stable, and the sky and everything around would be totally shaking. So the stabilization is really out of this world. Of course, you have to activate the super smooth settings, but if you are on the best updated firmware, you should be able to do that. This is really absolutely awesome, no doubt, absolutely no doubt. But when it comes to pictures, they may look really good at the beginning when you can send such a picture to friends, and they will say, oh wow, that's awesome picture and incredible colors and everything. It doesn't look too bad, but when you go closer, hope I can do that. I don't know why it's not working. Yeah, at least on the next picture I seem to be able to do that. So here you can see the bird when we get a little bit closer. This is totally blurry, totally. It's not, I cannot say it's not in focus. I think it's just what it is. You can't do any better. I've been shooting dozens of such pictures. Yeah, the app is a little bit annoying sometimes. Yeah, this is it. I mean, we can do the hotel here or the apartment complex totally blurred. I mean, it looks that the sky is blue. It's not bad. You can send this to friends and family with your mobile phone, and if they don't check it on the PC, they will say, yeah, that's it. That's super cool. But there's a lot. If you go with the super wide angle, then of course it has a lot of distortion, as you can see on the side. Sometimes you can see even much more. It's just a small building. If it was higher, it would be like this. Unfortunately, I think I don't have something. I will check. So here I was standing in the middle of the bed and the sideboard, and as you can see, this is actually fully straight. This is straight, and you can see almost like a circle. I mean, it's wide angle. It's hard to prevent this barrel distortion. There are programs where you can try to mitigate a little bit, of course, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is from inside, and of course inside at with low light it's even worse. It's not even possible to make a sharp picture during the day. Then you can forget inside. Don't shoot inside pictures with this camera. What I have also noticed, or a little bit to complain, is that I haven't found any setting 1080p video, but I will show it to you on the camera later on. So here you can see here is a perfect sample of a lengthy video, and it was limited to 17 minutes 38. So this is I think 1442 something resolution, a little bit more than 1080p, and it limited the length of to 17 minutes, which is quite short. So the videos look like, and it was 30 frames, so the videos look like they are getting quite big, and so it doesn't interrupt. I mean, I've been recording for about half an hour. It was able to do that, and it's just split the videos after, I think it's about 4 gigabytes. So you can of course then after that connect on PC, or of course you have to do on PC. You can join, I mean you can connect them again, but of course it will render the quality a little bit down. So it will be interesting to see how long the videos will be when I increase the quality or reduce the quality. I will make another video about that. I won't do that everything in this video. What I find a little bit annoying in this app, I mean the whole app is for me it's just not good enough. So when you connect it and transfer the pictures, it will show you like different stories. Here we have a story, and then there's another story. It just makes some groups of pictures based on timestamp, I guess, which is annoying. And it says expiring in 3 days. So the thing is actually, which is really strange, it transfers the pictures and the video from the camera to the app, but they are not, I mean, they are locally stored on the phone, and they are consuming storage space. I've checked that in another app. So now it's consuming about 1 gigabyte, but they cannot be used like this. They are like in a bulk, like in a isolated area, which is really super strange. So we have this isolated area of storage where you can't use the photos, and there's the, I try to go to the pictures here. Yeah, so here we have the recent thing. This is the recent, all the pictures and videos which have been transferred to this phone is in recent, and then we have local, and then we have cloud. So actually, I mean, and for the cloud you have to pay. That's not a bad thing. So I usually have only local and cloud, and here we have a third thing which just says recent, but actually it's local. But if you want to transfer something from recent to local, you have to somehow click on it like here, and then there's a download. Okay, here I have already downloaded, I think. Usually there's something, yeah, here there's an icon and I can download. So saved to local. So it didn't leave the phone, it was already here, and now just after clicking on that save to local, I can use it. And so I can only transfer it to or backup the pictures and video to, let's say, Google Photos after doing this for every photo, for every video, which is really super annoying. I mean, I don't know if there's a bulk procedure for doing that. For me, it's just ridiculous. And also, it looks there's no way to wireless transfer all pictures and videos to PC. I mean, you can connect your PC to the Wi-Fi. What's that? You can connect it. I mean, here you have the settings, preferences, you have the connections, and then we have the camera info, which is also a weird camera info. That's the Wi-Fi name, Wi-Fi password. You can connect your camera PC to the camera Wi-Fi, and then you can, there's a link, I'll put down the link into the description. So you can invoke a browser and put that into the browser, and then you can see what's on the camera, but there's no way to transfer everything. So I guess you have to either pay for the cloud functionality, month by month subscription, something like that, or you have to use the cable. And even with the PC software, there's a software for PC, even with the PC software, you cannot use wireless transfer. You still have to use the cable, which is super annoying. So one of my major complaints is also the build quality. I hope you can see that. Maybe I have to pick a new light. So here we have some extra light, and now watch at this gap here. I try to zoom in a little bit, and I hope now you can see that this thing, like that's the protection of the lens or whatever it is. As you can see, yeah, it goes all the way around. This is not straight. Also here you can see there's a huge difference from left to right. So it looks like the build quality looks for me like for $20 camera. I mean, this is $400, and the protection of this thing looks like a $20 piece of something. Can't tell you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, really disappointing. I mean, I don't want to return because of that. There's no disadvantage as far as I can see. Picture quality is good. I mean, it's just a little bit it's not aligned properly and then glued. Yeah, that's super cheap and dirty job. Definitely not yeah not suitable for a $400 camera. So yeah, and overall, when we and I think about the app, I hope I can log into the app. Yeah, when you play around the app and the online website of GoPro, there are so many annoying or bothering messages about adding additional software. Here there's also another software which they suggest all the time, like this, can't remember this thing, I think, yeah, you need quick all the time. They tell you to install this thing. I don't have enough space to do that here, and they all the time ask you to buy this online cloud and different things. So this should actually be included within $400 definitely. And No matter if it's regarding this software, the app or the desktop app on the PC or the camera, it's not enough self-explaining. For $400, I would definitely expect that everything is self-explaining. I had cameras for $50 which were definitely more self-explaining. For $400, you should just open the camera, charge it, put in your storage card and start shooting, connecting, everything self-explaining. This is not the case here. And a special complaint about the app, or the touch screen on the camera. It is very annoying, like the let's say the whole structure of the menus are really difficult. The settings, you pull it down, you go to preference, and then let's say we go to the touch display, I think. Yeah, that's it. I think it was here. So let's say we choose to change the brightness here, and there's an up and down here. Again, we don't have an automatic brightness, but there's no button back. So here, we can just click and it goes back, or we can make something like this, swipe, and it will also go back, but there's no arrow, no nothing. When we go to the screensaver, we can choose another time for the screensaver, and it automatically goes back. There's no chance to adjust like 2 times. It always will go back after the first change, like this. And when you don't want to do any change, then it doesn't go back with the push like in the other menu, or with a swipe. Doesn't work here. You have to click the arrow, and yeah, it's super annoying. Every menu is a little bit different. There's no consistency in the menus, and it's not like super fast. It's okay, it is working somehow, but overall it's sometimes really confusing where you have to go. And let's say, look at these pictures. When we go to the pictures, I expect actually that it would be super fast, but yeah, it's almost working like a resistive touch screen, and not yeah, it's really bad. For $400 you would definitely expect something else. It's working, but it's just definitely too slow. And there's no extra like this Apple feeling, which you you could say, oh wow, this is like super fancy touch screen, which Apple brought up, that everything is working super smooth and super fancy, and this is more like touchscreen, and the whole software reminds me just like a super cheap $20 phone. This should be definitely different. And you can see the battery is already down to 64%. It's suffering extremely just by watching a little bit in the menus. Of course, what I wanted to show you is the underwater test, which is also absolutely awesome. Not only stabilization, picture quality. We are here really close to sunset, and the light is quite limited, and the video quality is absolutely awesome, especially close-ups, which are usually a huge problem with other cameras. Here we have like almost super focused from far to really close, and we can go out of the water, into the water. Whatever we do it's super sharp, super clear, super stable. That's absolutely awesome, and a lot of people will buy camera for underwater videos or water videos, and here you can clearly see it's absolutely awesome. Also against sun, the sky is still blue even when we are towards the sun. One other thing which was also a little bit annoying, when I opened the app and connected to the camera, it asked me to update the firmware, and I said yes, and after some time it came up on the app and said firmware update failed, and I checked on the camera and the camera was still okay, but I have no idea if it really updated. It didn't say anything about an update. Probably it just failed, but the camera, it's still alive, so probably got with the old firmware. Another problem which I had when I connected the camera here with the USB-C cable and was charging it, then when I removed the cable, it still was in charging mode. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't press anything here. It was still blinking. I mean, it has these two LEDs. Can't remember where they are. Exactly, two LEDs still blinking, and yeah, I haven't been able to do anything. I had to open the battery compartment and remove the battery. It was totally locked in the charging mode. Yeah, let's go again to the video modes. When we click on that, you can see what modes we have, and you can see that we have only 4K. I mean, only 4K is good, but we don't have any 1080p, which I always loved. We have a we have, oops, what's that? Yeah, okay. With the 4K, we have different frame rates. These are the frame rates between 24 and 240. With the 2.7K, that's also the range, and with the 1440, that's the range of, that's actually everything. Oh no, it's grayed out. Yeah, sorry, I was wrong. I start over again. That was my fault. Yeah, I don't want to see this. So, okay, with 4K, we have only 30 frames and 24 frames. Everything else is grayed out. And with the 2.7K, we only have 60, 30, and 24 frames. And with 1440, we have up to 120 frames, and with 960 we have probably everything. Yeah, we can also go up to 240 frames per second, but what I really miss is the 1080p with 30 seconds, which I was usually using. So that's it for now. I'm actually at the end of this review. I hope I have covered more or less everything which is possible in a little bit more than half an hour. And yeah, I mean, yeah, what's the bottom line? I will definitely keep the camera. It's a beautiful camera. It's small. It's really capable. It has a lot of features. I haven't tried everything. The video quality is awesome. The stabilization is out of this world. So I will definitely keep. You can see. I will definitely keep this camera. Maybe I will complain about the build quality. I will talk maybe to GoPro. Let's see how they react. But I don't expect anything. Yeah. So my recommendation, would I buy it again? Yeah, I think let's put it this way, for let's say $250 or $300, it's definitely a buy. Everything beyond $300 is actually too much. It's like it's just a fan price for having the best action camera if you want to have the best camera, yeah, you have to pay the extra price. It's definitely, it's too much actually. When I see the quality, functionality, everything, it's not worth $400, but if you want to have the best camera, then you have to go with the extra price. So I mean, for me, I would definitely buy it again, because it's a camera which I have always wanted. It has the super good video quality, it has the extra stabilization, and it's super reliable. I mean, there are also other cheaper Chinese brands like SJ Cam, which have this touchscreen and super good stabilization close to the GoPro, but they are totally unreliable. I have tried 2 or 3 of the SJ cameras, and the problem was always when I clicked here once, sometimes it double clicked, triple clicked. It was super annoying. I never had this with the GoPro so far. This is annoying, something which you can't really use. I mean, when you're out there in the snow, water, wherever, you don't have the time to double check or triple check if it's really if it has really started recording and not already stopped again. So it's super important, especially with an action camera, that you have reliable recording. If you do crazy stunts or whatever, you want to make sure that the thing is really recording and hasn't stopped, like started and stopped in the same time, which happened a lot with my SJ Cam before. And at the end, I really hated the SJ Cam because I missed a lot of really nice shots. So, and I don't expect that this will happen with the GoPro. But the battery quality is really bad. I mean, especially here in the standby, or more or less standby, should be definitely more. A few things they definitely should upgrade, but it's, yeah, definitely I would say it's the best camera. So I'll do some other footage, some other videos about the GoPro camera. You will find it on my channel, so it's always good to subscribe to my channel to find out all the videos about this camera and other information. And I have also coverage about other cameras and other things which could be really interesting for you. And so I hope I was able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.